Welcome Pokebox5, I'm JadeHex. I'm filling in for Antar1011 today, and so he asked me to fill in, and I gladly obliged. So this is an RU tier battle against MrJabs, and yes, so here we go. He's going to start out leading off with a Crocodile named Stalker, and I'm going to lead out with my Alakazam. So this is an inner focus sash Alakazam with counter. So I was suspecting his Scarf and went for the Signal Beam, thinking it would take it out, but unfortunately it doesn't, and he goes for the Pursuit, predicting my switch, and unfortunately I don't switch and survive with my Focus Sash. So he takes Life Orb, which is relieving to me, knowing he's not Scarfed anymore, as he switches out and goes into his Like Bananas, which is a Medicham. So I'm going to go for my Signal Beam, and hoping to take out his Crocodile, actually do a hefty chunk to his Medicham. So here I was trying to see if he was Scarfed or not, and since he has Bullet Punch, I know for sure he isn't Scarfed, so I can send in my Scarfed Pokemon, which is my Samurott. Definitely my most favorite water starter. So I'm good enough to force him out into his Stalker again as Death Fodder, as I go for my Scarfed Adamant Waterfall and take it out. So 5-5. So far we're neck and neck, and he goes out. So now he sends out his Magmortar, and Scarf Magmortar is obvious, and I switch out right away. Now I go into my Claydol, predicting the Thunderbolt, seeing that his team is very weak to my Samurott. I think he'd want to take it out right away, and that's what he goes for. He goes for the Thunderbolt, and I'll get my free Stealth Rock up as he switches out into his Omastar and Smash Mouth. So definitely not thinking he's an offensive Omastar from the name itself, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I went for the Earth Power, and do a hefty amount of damage to his Omastar, as he sets up the Stealth Rock. So he sets up Stealth Rock, and I get some valuable information. One, he's defensive, and two, I can outspeed him. So here, predicting a switch, not necessarily into his Claydol, I go for the Psychic, and since he's resisted and doesn't do much damage, it's not going to do much. So Claydol is very popular in RU, especially since the only viable spinner aside from him is Sandslash, even though I do vie spin as a spinner. Oh well. He sets up the Reflect as I go for my Rapid Spin and blow away the Omastar Stealth Rocks, as he gets leftovers, and since I'm at full I don't get my leftovers, so right now I switch out my Claydol and go into my Rotom, not necessarily predicting the Toxic, but wanting to trick this Claydol my Specs. I am a Specs Rotom Fridge with max speed and 252 in special attack. So he goes for Toxic, I take a little damage, and I get my trick off. So I trick him my Choice Specs, which is definitely one of the biggest plays in this game. So now that annoying Claydol is 100% crippled, he's stuck in Rapid Spin, and I get a free switch into whatever he gets. So I take a little bit of my newly acquired leftovers and take a little bit of damage from Toxic, as I'm free to Volt Switch out into whatever I want, really, predicting his switch. So he goes into Magmortar, I go for my Volt Switch, and I will switch out into my Samurott, which isn't necessarily a good play because I didn't know. I almost forgot that he didn't have that Reflect up. So I was that close to going for the Aqua Jet, but knowing he has that Reflect up, I do switch out into my Claydol as he switches out into his Omastar as Death Fodder. So I'm in a great position. I do have my Claydol up, and he has his Omastar, which is slower than mine. So and on top of that, his reflect wears off. So here I go for the Earth Power, take out his Omastar, and in a pretty good position right now. So here he goes into No Rock, great name, his Articuno, and I'm kind of forced to switch out, predicting either the Toxic or the Ice Beam, both of which I can't take very well, and go into my Rotom Fridge. So he opts for the Ice Beam and doesn't do much to my Rotom. So here I get leftovers and a little bit of take a little bit of toxic damage, and predicting his Claydol switch in, I go for my Blizzard. And unfortunately, since Articuno is very specially defensive, it's not going to do much whatsoever. So here's going to go for Ice Beam and do not that much to me, but the Toxic is racking up slowly but surely, as my Blizzards aren't doing much whatsoever. So here, essentially just leaving my Rotom in to die, I go for another Blizzard and actually hit the second Blizzard as well, which doesn't really matter in the long run, mainly because he does have the Roost and he decides to go for it now. So here I'm predicting him to just Roost stall me to death, as so I will, after he gains all his health back, I will actually go out into my Samurott, either predicting the Ice Beam or the Roost again. After all these after-turn effects actually take place, so I decide to actually just normally switch out into my Samurott, as opposed to Volt switching for no real apparent reason. I just didn't want it to accidentally fail. So here I go into Samurott. He has a fail Roost, and I go for my Waterfall, hoping to do more damage to it, but unfortunately it does about the same as Blizzard did, as he goes for Roar and switches out into my Scyther. So this is my Life Orb offensive Scyther, really great this gen, and I'm just about to show you how great it is. So he decides to switch out his Articuno and go into his Claydol, as I go for my Aerial Ace. So it's Technician boosted Stab Aerial Ace, and it doesn't do that much. It does a bit under half. And since he is Specs locked, I'm hoping he'd go for a Reflect, as I go for my Swords Dance. So as predicted, or as hoping, he does go for a Reflect on my Swords Dance, and that also means I can get a second free Swords Dance. So here he kind of makes a bad play by staying in on this turn for Death Fodder, as he sets up another Reflect, which is too bad for him, which will also mean I get a third Swords Dance, and effectively bringing me up to a plus 5, I think, with the Reflect. So I'm at plus 5, and his Medicham, also, which I know the Medicham has priority, but I have Quick Attack, which is since my Scyther is faster, I have better priority than his Medicham, and that will efficiently take out Medicham. So here he sends out Magmortar, hoping to make me think I didn't know he had a Scarf, but I know he has a Scarf, and go for a Quick Attack, and that will also take out his Magmortar as well. Technician boosted Quick Attack is definitely good on Scyther. So, and finally the Reflect wears off as well, so I'm at my full plus 6s. He's down to his last two Pokemon, which is his Claydol and his Articuno. So this is going to be a very efficient Scyther sweep, as Aerial Ace will take out his last two pokes. So take a little bit of Life Orb damage as he goes into his final Pokemon, which is his Articuno. So Scyther gets a nice little sweep here, and that will be game. Good game, Mr. Jabs. Thank you, Pokebox5, for allowing me to be on the Sith. Thanks, Antar1011, for asking me to fill in, and he will be back next Monday. If you like my content, feel free to check out my channel, and be sure to subscribe to the Pokebox5 as well. So, see ya. Peace out.